Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are back in the open Greggly, and we got an ABB team with some double dragons in the back. So we're going to start off with the Mantine paired with the Goodra and the Hakamo-o. They are going to switch out into the Umbreon. We're going to switch out into our Hakamo-o, as the Hakamo-o is able to do some neutral fast moves, plus Brick Break. Super effective Brick Breaks here is not only going to be super effective, but also debuff their defense. So these Dragon Tails are going to do that much more damage. We know that this, ends up being the Foul Play. They did run the Foul Play Psychic version of Umbreon, so that was kind of interesting. We go for another Brick Break, don't quite KO, but we do get the farm down, which is a little bit better for us. We're going to be able to get to another Dragon Claw here against this Machamp. This Machamp here doesn't shield, and then we're going to go into our Mantine. Mantine here decides to shield a Rock Slide, which is great. And then we're going to be met with a, Toxapex. Toxapex here is going to have a difficult time winning this game because Mantine here is going to be able to spam a bunch of these Aero Aces. Plus, they're going to have to throw a potential poison move just to take out this Mantine, which costs a lot of energy. And after they throw that move, we're going to be able to switch into our Goodra. So this is all okay for us right now. There's the Gunk Shot. Interesting. They're not running Sludge Wave, but that's fine. And then we're going to go and clean up with the Groot Jump. One Aqua Tail here does get the last shield. Here, we're just kind of the shield just in case it's a Gunk Shot. Indeed, it is a Gunk Shot, and now it is GG's because they're not going to be able to win the game with that low of a health. So, well played by us, and on to the next game here. So we do have the Mantine pair with two dragons to protect against the potential Lanturns. So we have two Lantern counters in case Mantine sees it. So that's why that's there. We got Jellicent versus the Mantine here. Jellicent is kind of a wonky matchup as they are going to be able to potential bait or... Okay, they actually switch out into the Wigglytuff. Interesting. Obviously, we want them to have it switched out because we don't have anything good in the bag for this Wigglytuff. We're going to stay in and do as much damage as possible. Let's see if we can get away with another Aero Ace. Okay, we do. We get it into the red, which is fantastic. We decided to shield here, even though we're close to getting KO, just so that we can get this Wigglytuff out of the way. They end up shielding that, so they are smelling a little bit of fishiness, but we are going to be able to get into the Goodra, farm it down. We have to tank some charms, but that's as good as that was going to get. Right there, we decided to shield it, thinking that it was a Shadow Ball, but unfortunately, no Shadow Ball in that situation, and this is unfortunately GG's because they have a shield, plus this Hakamo-o is taking super effective wing attacks from this Gligar. So we have no shields. This is going to go through. Almost takes us out there. They're probably going to be able to farm us down. Okay, not quite. We're going to be able to get to another Dragon Claw before we get farmed down. However, because they're going to farm us down here, they're going to be able to beat our Goodra. Our Goodra is shieldless and unfortunately doesn't have enough health to beat this game. They still have a shield, so unless they don't have a lot of energy on this Jellicent here, this is a formality at this point. So there's the Shadow Ball, unfortunately unable to win that backline. It was going to be a tough backline to beat, especially with that Wigglytuff lurking in the back. Fortunately, they switched out, and at least we made it close at the end, but unfortunately not enough shields. All right. We got the Crocodile here versus the Mantine. Pretty decent matchup for this Mantine. So we're just going to bait and go for this Aero Ace here. We do get the shield from our opponent. We know what moves this Crocodile has. Potential Disarming Voice, Crunch. They decided to go for the Crunch. We let the first one go just in case we get debuffed. We're going to be able to get to another move here. Farming up to a Water Pulse, but they don't believe us. They're going to be able to sniff that one out. We can basically just allow this move to go through. And we do survive that Crunch, thankfully. And we're going to be able to get Bolt Shield from this Crocodile. So now we're just going to be able to go into our Goodra here to farm down. All we have to do is shield right here because this is going to be a Disarming Voice most likely. Yep, makes sense. And then they're going to switch out into the Victory Bell. Victory Bell is going to have trouble beating our backline as we're going to be resisting all of their grass moves. One Leaf Blade goes through. We are able to resist it. We're going to throw a Power Whip here just so that we can chip away at this Victory Bell. They cut through another move, and we're just going to let this one go, and we're going to hope that one show Hakamo-o is going to be able to win the game. We do farm it down, and let's see what's in the back. We know that Victory Bell is out of the way. They come back in with their Dugong, so I guess Dugong versus this Hakamo-o is our best case scenario, as we do have this super effective breaks to go through. They're going to debuff with the Icy Wind, but they actually switch out and let us farm it down, so we are able to get a little bit of energy again. We go for another break here, does good super effective damage, and now they are forced to use some energy right here. They're super low. This Icy Wind takes out the Hakamo-o, but luckily the Goodra was still available for the farm down with their fast move. So GG's to our opponent right there, able to win that ice backline with our double dragons. Thankfully, the Goodra was able to do most of the work in the backline. All right, we got the Skarmory versus the Mantine. Okay, kind of a weird situation. For now, we're just going to stay in. We're going to throw these Water Pulse. Water Pulse does some good neutral damage towards this Skarmory. We are going to allow the first one to go through. It ends up being the Sky Attack bait. So that allows us to potentially get to another Water Pulse. This Water Pulse here is going to be important. Let's see if they shield it or they decide to let it go. They decided to let it go. And now we feel a little bit better letting this Mantine potentially go, because maybe we can farm down with something in the back, especially with our Goodra. Goodra gets a good farm down, which is as good as that one's going to get. They switch in, or they use their Wish Cash next, which is not necessarily the best counter to the Goodra. So we do build up to a potential Power Whip, and then we throw the Aqua Tail bait. They decide to shield, which is great for us. They go for the Mud Bomb, and now we're going to do the same thing. Okay, but maybe we have to invest a shield first. One shield goes through just so that we can potentially reach this Power Whip. They sense that we are at the Power Whip, I believe. Throw another Aqua Tail here. Do we get 2 shields out of the situation? Yes, we do. So this is good news for us, as we do get the shield down, and we're going to be able to get to another Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail barely doesn't take out this Wish Cash. They are still staying in, so maybe they do not like to see dragon types in the back, and there you have it right there. Unfortunately for them, another dragon in the back is going to be met against our Hakamo-o, which is able to do some super effective dragon tails. Plus we have the shield, and they know it's GG's, so well played by us. The double dragons able to avoid all the fairies in the back. All right, here we got the Azumarill versus our Mantine. At least we have the Arrow Aces to do some good neutral damage. This Azumarill is going to be quite tanky, as most of you know. Definitely don't want to see this Azumarill on our backline, so we're just going to do as much damage as possible with our Mantine here. As you can see, already into the yellow, we go and tank a Ice Beam, which is really good. So far, they've revealed that they have Ice Beam potential Play Rough right here, so we decided to throw a shield. They do decide to go for another Ice Beam. So at this point, we are looking like we are outpacing them. We are able to force them to switch out. They decide to switch into their Gligar after leaving their Azumarill with a sliver of health. At least we get a shield from this Gligar. We're going to be able to get to another Arrow Ace here. And the Arrow Ace, trying to get to another Arrow Ace, but they are aware that we are very close, and they're going to snipe our energy right there. They throw their own Arrow Ace to take out our Mantine, and then we're going to come in with our Goodra, as our Goodra is going to be able to apply a lot of fast move pressure. One dig goes through, takes the Goodra into the yellow. We're going to have to think about shielding here. We decided to let it go, anticipating the Arrow Ace. Indeed, it's the Arrow Ace. And then we're going to throw this Aqua Tail as soon as we have it. Let's see if they end up letting it go or getting the shield. All right, they decided to let it go. We're going to go into our Hakamo-o here versus this Vigoroth. It's going to come down to who's going to invest the shields when and where. We're going to throw this Dragon Claw. We do get the shield from our opponent. We're going to shield here because we're going to eventually have to shield one body slam anyways. And then make sure we throw in good timing. Our opponent here does catch the move, unfortunately. So we did not execute that correctly. And unfortunately, we're going to lose because we wasted all that energy. Nice play by my opponent. We're trying to switch out really fast there, but unfortunately, it was going to be GG's. So our opponent here, well, outplayed us right there, and that's how it is sometimes. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.